Hello and welcome back to Forts, where today we're celebrating the return of the king. That's right, it is FPL Season 7, and here we have on the right hand side, it is Ethan himself, the long reigning champion. He's been unpresent for the last several major tournaments. He's returned here for the open season of the Forts Pro League. Now teamed up with Tar, a current and major champion here. You might say that these teams are stacked in all the ways that I know you guys love to see. As here we have on the left hand side, it is Team Colgrate, a name you guys may remember from previous tournaments and previous Forts Pro League seasons. It's Turfy, Beta, and Whooper, playing as the Hurricane Commander. Now, this match is, I think, going to be a little bit interesting, as we have Tar and Ethan on the right-hand side here playing as the Buster Commander. Things are going to get a little bit exciting. So the Buster Commander, as you guys may remember from our live streams, tends to be very effective in the larger 4v4 formats. The empowered weaponry, the uranium weapons, depleted uranium weapons, I should say, are just kind of really good when massed, and especially with cannons. However, in these smaller formats like 1v1 and 2v2, it tends to be used more for its early game aggression potential, especially with rockets and mortars. Now, I do know that Ethan is a big fan of mortars, and well, that's part of the reason why I so greatly enjoy Ethan gameplay. However, as I was about to say, we have the armory tech and not the workshop tech. So it is instead going to be, is that just flak? Or is that flak and rocket? That's just flak, so we might get to see some shotguns here. Whereas Tar is going for the workshop. Now Tar, I know, loves a good cannon stack, he's well memed for it. But on the other side here, Team Colgrate's just kind of going toward heavy weapons with a side stop toward the upgrade center, which is a fairly standard play. Kind of the meta play these days, complete with the token EMP, the EMP timing that you can get out to harass the opponents without any real risk, as Ethan is now adding in an EMP of his own, and double shotgun. So this is going to be some pressure. And if this looks like a weapon platform for even more shotguns, or maybe even more EMPs, you might get a bit of a rocket rush out of this, as the shotguns is going to start trying to target turfies, or should I say Colgrates in general, turbines, as shotguns are just kind of really good at taking them out. Do it. Oh, EMP knocking out both of Ethan's shotguns and the core and 3 of his mines, which is wonderful, as we have even more rockets now placed. So we are in fact going to see a rocket rush out of Ethan, while Tar moves toward what I can only assume is going to be a standard cannon stack build. Now, this is going to leave Team Colgrate in a wild position, because they are going for meta plays. We're talking upgrade sensor, extra tech, extra economy. You can see the mines being upgraded here, directly into heck of the shotguns. Do it. Do it. Destroy them. Yes! So that's what the shotguns do. They take out turbines, and generally any kind of exposed thing or lightly defended thing in the early game. They're very good at that. EMPs crossing paths and getting some delicious hits on both sides, as Ethan is actually getting 2 rockets upgraded. But as I was saying, Colgrate here is going to try to get toward heavy weapons and get all the early game upgrades in the greediest of ways, while now under fire from some very real aggression, where it's just something like a pair of shotguns and an EMP would be annoying to deal with. The addition of the extra rockets means immediately Turfy here is going to be taking some actual core damage, and enough armor has been removed to let the shotguns just go all the way through and just destroy most of Turfy's economy at this point. So it's a little rough. They do have to transition away from going directly into heavy weapons into something that's a real response to these rockets, or Ethan's just going to annihilate them, which is a very Ethan thing to do. As we see, the target is being changed, enough damage has been dealt to Turfy that Turfy now has to focus on rebuilding and armoring up instead of developing additional weaponry, or any weaponry for that matter, while Whooper has been free to work toward heavy weaponry, and that's illegal. You know, you can't let your opponents have nice things. So here we go instead, Ethan just pummeling Whooper and where Wooper had the ability to place a standard cannon, now is instead building armor and anti-rocketry and general defenses. That's going to slow him down and give Tar a clean shot toward heavy weapons, as we see multiple. Really? That fast? Okay, well that was way fast. I was kind of expecting Surfy to live a little bit longer than that. But I guess it is what it is. We'll get to see in the replay how that went down. Because it is, well, this is Eaton doing Eaton things. At this point, Eaton's just having fun bashing both in a 1v2 here and winning. While Tar gets to have fun building a giant cannon stack, which at this point, I think isn't even going to be necessary to win the game. Eaton's just going to, win the 1v2 alone, but it will last long enough for Tar to get cannons out onto the field, and onto the field they are. So we're about to see Tar get involved here. And at this point, Wooper's in big trouble. Not only is he behind in terms of number of heavy weapons on the board, but he's also half shattered. God, look at that. The machine gunner destroyed the rocket, but the extra shrapnel on those rockets means that they take out the machine gunner. Like, it's just the extra damage from the empowered rockets is nice, but the big thing is the shrapnel, because it takes out the anti-air. So now there's less anti-air for the to clear out the rockets, and the rockets can make it clean across the map, which is, terrible to have to deal with if you're trying to defend against such things. But yeah, no, we're about to see Tar get involved with multiple cannons, and we see the cannon stack growing as he's building the structure supports necessary to build even taller. Kind of surprised he's not developing a third cannon while doing that. I guess he's a little... he's struggling for energy production, which is not a surprise given the size of his base, and also how he's designed it. That's classic. Wooper does actually manage to build a howitzer here. If that completes... Well, I'm gonna be honest, Eaton and Tar already have the answer to it, so it's unlikely to do any real damage. But one of the benefits of Wooper's current situation is that Wooper does actually have upgraded mines, courtesy of his now expired teammate's base. So he's not completely out of it, it's just a real rough situation. I mean, on the other side here, Tar is fully upgraded, whereas Team Colgrade has exactly 2 upgraded mines. And Wooper even lost a mine in the forwardmost position here to Eaton's pressure. But things are not going particularly well for Wooper, as Tar is now getting involved. The armor has been completely shredded. Wooper's core is exposed, and any follow-up shots landing there will annihilate him. But he does manage to recover this time, but only just barely, with no proper armor. Like, it has no metal. Frankly, Tar's existing firepower is enough to take out Wooper if he lands the shots perfectly. Mind you, the angles for that are a little low. A single cannon returns fire, Tar just eats it, loses an energy shield, instantly replaces it with no care in the world, with 2 cannons under construction simultaneously. Is now aiming at Wooper's weapon platform, which does manage to hold. Takes a bit of damage, but nothing he can't repair, nothing he can't afford at least. Well, that did a lot of damage to that cannon, I gotta say. The uranium rounds of the penetration and the ignition are just kind of brutal to deal with. Like, it costs a significant amount to repair weapons like that. And if you can keep the cannons just constantly piling on, it just breaks everything, which is what makes it so good in the 4v4s or the larger matches. But as we see here, frankly, Eaton was just exploiting the strength of the shrapnel rockets to get things going early on, and it worked. And now I think Eaton's actually kind of slowed down here. He hasn't been able to, with his early game aggression, he hasn't been able to scale as well as any other player, which is part of the plan. but it does mean he slows down quite a lot as, you know, the howitzer comes out and is immediately shut down by Eaton's shotgun array, which we saw that happening. And now Tar's going to build anti-howitzer defenses of his own. It's going to render that howitzer kind of not capable of dealing a Hail Mary shot. As we're going up to 6 rockets from Eaton, man. Like, the 2 rockets were able to defeat Turfy, but now that Whooper has Turfy's base and Whooper's base, complete with some upgrades, 2 rockets is just not enough economic damage to break through it. So he does actually need to scale up his rockets in order to deal some game-ending amount of damage here. But, I mean, Tar alone has game-ending damage, and we're seeing the outcome of that right here. This is Whooper conceding, saying, hey, checkmate has happened, we lost this game when Eaton went rockets, and, well, early game reigns supreme, as shot by shot penetrates through Whooper's defenses and ends it outright. And we're off to round 2, where here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Colgrate. Turfy and Whooper are looking to defeat the reigning champion. On the right-hand side, in the red forts, it is Tar and Eaton, now playing as the Seep Commander. Now, the Seep Commander, it's gonna be, this is certainly going to be swarm missiles. Like, we can see it, we have workshops already placed, it's gonna be swarm missiles. And you know, are they going for, like, a classic swarm missile rush, as opposed to portal missiles? So this position can only go for classic style. The lower position can go for portal missiles, which is the current meta, but that also involves getting mines here, which Tar has suspiciously avoided doing. Yeah, they're going for classic. I haven't seen that in a while. 3 mine, that's gonna be like, I think that's 3 mine, 3 swarm missile? I haven't seen that in a hot minute. Eaton can fit 4 mines up here and still get, I believe, 3 swarm missiles, so we'll see how that goes. But this is a classic as rushy as you can get with swarm missiles, and it's traditionally very effective, but players eventually learned how to deal with it, and we've kind of moved on from that point. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen this in pro play in so long, I don't know that the opponents have any real solution to this. Like, this kind of base design, I don't think lends itself to defending against this. This is like a meta so old that it's come back around to being effective, and, well, I don't know if Tar's familiar with this gameplay style, but Eaton certainly is. And they're just going for it, and they're going to be feasting on some turbines here. You know, swarm missiles, they love eating turbines alive, and there are plenty of exposed turbines here ready for devouring. As we have an EMP rocket place. Now, none of this is hidden. This is all very exposed. It is possible to hide these. No player here does this hiding tactic, as Tar is ready to fire all 3 of these at the same time. Eaton's only got 2 of them ready to go. And yeah, there it is. They're targeting, it looks like top base. Are they going directly to the core? Oh my god. So when you have 5 of them, you can just go directly to the core. That's just something you can do. As immediately Whooper is annihilated. I think they weren't prepared for this at all. Like, their bases were not ready for this. And now there's just more swarm missiles. This time it looks like they are targeting the turbines and the mines, which is definitely the correct play in terms of trying to apply pressure in the right places. But now things are looking real tough for Team Colgrate here, or I guess just Turfy, as these mines are very expensive to repair and they don't work while repairing. So you have to spend money to disable your economy, which is just not the world you want to live in when you're, you know, already broke. At this point, Turfy's upgraded their EMP into a rocket and is really about the only thing they can do, because while that was a good shot, Turfy needs to do some kind of damage here to retaliate, and we're already seeing how that's going. One of them is already down, the other one is exposed and getting sniped at. And will they be able? There's no way, right? Yeah, that's gone. Alright, so that... Welcome to swarm missiles. They are quite good when masked. Like, you don't actually need nukes when you have this many swarm missiles. This is why I refer to them as hybrid weapons. Like, they aren't good on their own, but when you get a bunch of them, they start doing real damage. You know, like breaking through metal and everything else for that matter. But, yeah, with Turfy losing that mine here to the swarm missile cluster, like, what do you even do with this? He's got one mine left. He's reconnecting via the rear, and that'll give him some consistent connection back there. But the swarms are just gonna snake their way back in there and break even more of them. He's down to 3 mines, and he's spending his money to try to get to the top here, which I think is the correct play. But if you look at this, Eaton already has the counter to that in the form of a buzzsaw, just looking to slice off this connection. So he's gonna connect to it, and it's going to be disconnected almost immediately, which, you know, sucks to be him a lot. And that machine gunner is quite optimistic. Welcome to Eaton Games, where he's just very good at the video game, and not only is he mechanically absurdly good, just the strategies are insane. And that's it. 5 minutes, like we're at cannon o'clock, there were no cannons, and the game is over. All hail Eaton. And we're off to round 3, our anti-spoiler match, which, for those who have been following, I think is probably, I don't think it's going to be very effective at an anti-spoiler match, I'll be honest here. But we're going to be playing a little round here anyways. I joined in on this map, and it's a, we're on Squirrel's Peak, and we believe we have extra, Alex's extra upgrades. So that'll be neat. Going to be playing it like any other Squirrels map, although this one is a bit, smaller than our usual 4v4, so we'll see how this goes. First off, we're going to get this, for which I would need to sell off some goodies. There we go. Make it all go away. Put this guy right here. Going to set this here and make our adapter here instead of in front, and that should get us a little more space to work with while still having a sniper up here. Teammate has unfortunately blocked the wind. Which is an unfortunate reality that we're now living in. So that's going to be a problem. I might have to... Okay, you know, that works. Hey, he did it. Good job. Good job, teammate. I approve. Alrighty, next up we are getting an EMP upgrade center. Or should I say an upgrade center for our EMPs. And then we're going to put 2 EMPs right here. Or not. This is claustrophobic enough that I can't actually fit anything in here, but I can fit things up here, which is where we are going to put them. There we go. So let's put an EMP right here. I will tiny door this. If I can, which I have to start from the upper side here. I do want teammate to be in this position here. It's just a little bit difficult to get things going around here, all things considered. So let's get another EMP up here. A little half step. This one I'm going to set this way, and then I'm going to put a sniper here and a... Well, this wasn't a particularly useful little set. Let's see, let's do this, and then I should just be able to start blasting here. Let's get one door on you. I did hear a sound as if it were... Interesting. I can't fire there due to it hitting terrain and blocking the friendly fire system, which is funny to me. I'm going to have to sell this off to make that open. I believe this is open anyways, so we get that. Nice. There we go. We put that back. So now we have both going around here, which is what I want to see. We'll do this. This can no longer fire here, so I need to move this. In fact, let's do this here and then put that sniper back. And now I get even more. Like so. We'll just start blasting. Better. And start taking out this rocket launcher. Or should I say this swarm missile launcher. Keep this in lockdown. Let's upgrade you. And start blasting. I'd love to see it. Now, I don't know what the other team... Oh, he's working in the behinds up there. And now I have teammate AP snipering the front, which you'll love to see. I'm going to start hitting this to make sure he can't rebuild anything. It looks like he was rebuilding something there. That is illegal. We are playing with Alex's extra upgrades, which I believe will be mostly irrelevant to the exchange as we're seeing it. But I am curious to see how it's going to work out. This is happening, so I do need to keep that in check. Which I can do like so. Let's add another hit on the core. Okay, and that ought to do it. He's still alive. Where did that MG come from? I don't know. But with now 2 rockets up, should really do a lot of damage. Just go ahead and start sending rounds up here. Now we're hitting things up there. You'll love to see it. Take out that sniper once again. And now I can start upgrading things like this and this. Get 1 battery here, so we can keep up with our economy, as we are struggling a little bit. I'm hitting something, and I think it's a turbine. Come on, please fire. Come on, please fire. Come on, please fire. Thank you. No more hit on this. No more EMP there. I don't know if I'm hitting anything up there, but we're going to find out. Okay, this is not working, and I don't like that. So close, so far away. I still see no... Why you don't fire? I am going to start getting... Yeah, there we go. Get some of those long shots in there. Long bursts. Take out the sniper again. Come on, hit the core. Not so close. Is there a sniper there? There is a sniper there. Let's go toward the core. You go this way. Remove the sniper. Please, thank you. Can't actually hit this thing here. Okay, there we go. Let's upgrade you. Get you upgraded. Let's get a little bit more storage here because I'm kind of floating notable quantities of goods. This core is not long for this world. I don't think he built anything back there, as we're just going to keep plinking away at this turbine while we're at it. The sniper is back. Let's just open this up. And now blast through here. Perfect. And re-hit the core once again. Which is surprisingly still alive, all things considered. But eventually we'll work our way through it. One more volley of rockets. Machine gun, check the sniper again, it's back. Just keep firing this sniper, remove this guy. Which, I'll be honest, this is probably really frustrating for the opponent here. He keeps rebuilding the same things, expecting a different result, and it's just not happening. Let's do... No, I don't want that. There we go. Punch clean on through. Take the core. It's still alive, guys. The core is still alive. I know Alex extra upgrades adds extra core HP. That's a lot. It's a lot. He put that machine gunner deep in there. Alright, well. What this means. This means I get to claim his base if he disconnects again. Which I think I'm going to aim for this time. Like, specifically aim to disconnect him. That way he can't have nice things, or things in general. This. You know, I can use that. Sell this off, sell this off. There's a world in which I use that, but I think just him not having it is enough. Right, come on. Alright, come on. Expose core. Thank you. Now we can go directly to the front, where there is already a big gun sitting there waiting to blast me into the next game. Was there waiting to blast me into the next game. I think we're just going to add in some more MGs and get some more damage output here. I think we got this. Alright. Sending it. Rockets out and machine guns out. There it is. And that's a nice little round of Squirrel's Nest. A smaller version. I prefer the big version, but you know what? It's a good time all around. So I want to say thank you to everyone who enjoyed this round of FPL and a little game afterwards. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.